The big city rumour. One evening, the engines were telling Paxton about the big city. Paxton was amazed. "How interesting," he said. "I think I'd like it here." "So would I," said Duck. "I've never been, but I think it's about to be a very nice place." "I think it's nice too," said Bert and Nert. "We went there before, and we thought it was brilliant." Paxton began to think it was interesting for him. "I think it's great," he said. "I wish I would like to go there." "Me too," said Duck. And with that, the two began talking about the big city till they went to sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning, the Fat Controller went to see the other engines. Paxton began telling him about wanting to go to the big city. "This is interesting," he said. "But Paxton," he said, "next week I'll arrange it with the controller of the big city railway, and then by tomorrow he'll have a ride on you and take you there." "This is interesting," said Paxton. "I'm beginning to like this." Paxton wanted to go, but he was so sure that he was going to miss the other engines. The next day later, it was time for Paxton to go. Goodbye, he said to Proteus and Penny. "And so you all know, an engine from the big city is going to do my work while I'm away. But I'll be back soon," he said. "Don't cause any tricks, though, on him." "Sure," said Proteus and Penny. "Good," said Paxton, and Paxton puffed away to go to the big city. A few days later, the engine had just arrived at the Sodor Railway. He was big and green, but was still not enjoying his first visit to the railway. At last he came, and Proteus and Penny were the first to greet him. "Hello," they said. "It's nice to meet you, mister. We'll show you everywhere around the sights of Sodor." "I don't need any introductions," said the visitor sternly. "Leave me alone." "But we'll show you the secret paths," said Proteus and Penny. "Like what?" said the visitor crossly. "Like when you went through that tunnel behind you, and we'll show you the big station." "I don't have time for engines like you," said the engine crossly. "I'm here to do my work so that I'll leave this pathetic railway for good." And with that, he puffed crossly away by leaving a big cloud of steam all over the two little yellow engines. "How rude," said Proteus and Penny. "We were just trying to be nice. Paxton's replacement is mean." "What's that about Paxton's replacement?" asked Murdoch. "He's mean," said Penny, "and I think the Fat Controller wants Paxton to be scrapped." "Oh no," said Murdoch. I must warn the engines at once." And with that, Murdoch puffed away without doing his ordinary work. Just then, Murdoch had just met Donald at the yards and told him about what's happening to Paxton. "Really?" said Donald. "Paxton's gone?" Oh no, he said. "He was one of our hard workers, and I can't believe the Fat Controller is replacing him. I must tell the others." And Donald puffed away too. Then Donald found Douglas at the Signet area. He had some sad news to tell him. "Haven't you heard, Dougie?" he said. "Paxton's gone. The Fat Controller's replacing him with a new engine." "This is terrible," said Douglas. Just then Mighty Mac bustled in. "What's going on?" he asked. "Haven't you heard?" said the twins. Paxton's getting replaced by a new engine. By a new engine, they said, and the Fat Controller said so. "Oh no," said Mighty Mac. "We must tell Norman. He deserves to know." And with that, the two puffed away. A few minutes later, he had just found Norman under the Boulder Mountain Tunnel and told him about Paxton. "Paxton getting replaced," said Norman crossly. I'm not going to let the Fat Controller do anything to my friend, he said defiantly. And with that, he was even more crosser with the Fat Controller. Meanwhile, Duck, Bert and Nert were just enjoying their rest in the sheds when all the other engines came in. They were ready to tell the three engines about what's going on, and with that, they all bustled in to the sheds and interrupted. Haven't you heard? Said Mike. Paxton's getting scrapped and becoming a narrow gauge engine, said Mighty Mac. Or he must have been replaced, said Murdoch. Or he must have been sent to a different railway, said Donald and Douglas. But the three had had enough. Soon, at last, Duck shouted out loud, "Enough, you guys!" he said. What are you all talking about? What is really coming into Paxton not being here, becoming a narrow gauge engine, getting scrapped, and all that type of nonsense, he said. Paxton wanted to go to the big city because he wanted to, he said. That's right, said a voice. It was the Fat Controller. That's why Paxton's not here, but he'll be back but he'll be back tomorrow, and then he and the visitor will be back to the correct railways. Now all of you go back and do your work. And with that, the others were out of the sheds, and they were off to go back to their work immediately. The three engines were very embarrassed. What an interesting day, they thought. "Oh no," said the Fat Controller. "Soon Paxton will be back, and he will." 5 days later, Paxton had finally came back home from the big city, and the other engines were happy to see him again. Paxton was pleased to see his friends again, but was happy to be back as well. But in the meantime, the visitor had just not enjoyed his first visit to the railway. He was ready to leave, and he was just about to leave when Murdoch and Arthur puffed in to apologise. We're sorry you didn't enjoy your first visit," said Arthur, "but you do know the island of Sodor is a nice place." "Yes," said Murdoch. "What do you say you want to visit again?" The engine was cross. "I do not want to come back here again," he said. If London is Euston again," he said. "Goodbye," and the engine puffed crossly away. "London will be what again?" said Arthur. "Euston," said Murdoch. "I don't know if this engine had a similar chat with Duck and Gordon about this before," he said. But they told me that they did with this engine," said Murdoch. "But I don't know when and where," he said. "This is interesting," said Arthur, and with that the two puffed away, not knowing what they've left behind.